big game on Saturday in Athens, Georgia, under the lights and between the hedges between Georgia and Tennessee. 10.5-point spread as we get you ready for a huge weekend in the SEC. It is the game of the week. If it's a big weekend in the SEC, that means Mark Zinno joins us here on this Thursday on the early line. Zinno, we appreciate the time as always. How ready are you?
Well, Ben, I'm very ready. Apparently not as ready as you are with the leap that you made. I want to wish you congratulations. I've already set the line at a summer wedding at minus 385 because I don't think there's any way that you'll be able to have a fall wedding in any size, way, shape, or form. So that number is going to keep moving north. But we established your opening line of a summer wedding at minus 385.
Now, I don't want to skew the odds makers, right, or the book of Zinno, but spring could also be, part of that, depending officially based on the months, could be April, May, 2026. Yes. So I just want to make sure the odds makers in your risk room have all of the necessary information. Okay?
Listen, all I know is it won't take place anytime between the weekend before Labor Day and the national championship. February to July, open season for everything.
Like when you get later in a year, it's like this team to win the championship or the field. Yes. Fall or the field. The field is minus 40,000. Can't even come up with a number strong enough for the field because we know fall Saturdays are sacred, certainly as the fall continues to roll on. Mark Zinno becomes the mouth in the South, and these are his SEC picks. Not a ton of drastic market movement, for that game that we just displayed, a top 15 tilt between Georgia and Tennessee. The Dogs, number 12, falling by 9 spots in the latest CFP rankings. Tennessee remains put at number 7. The Vols did beat Mississippi State handily this past Saturday, but big news for Nico Iamaleava, of course, was knocked out of the game. His status for Saturday still unclear. The line has moved slightly, in favor of UGA, now up north of double digits, 10.5. Total working its way down from 49.5 to 47.5. With the status a little bit uncertain for Nico Iamaleava, the freshman quarterback for Tennessee. How do you approach this matchup for Georgia and Tennessee, knowing the Dogs need to bounce back?
Well, when this front number first posted, it was kind of eye-popping to go, whoa. Georgia minus 9. But then you start to think and go, odds makers are telling you something. There's a big gap between these two teams here, specifically what the Tennessee offense has done since they entered SEC play, which is pretty much squat, saved the game last week against Mississippi State. In case you guys haven't noticed, even at that 47.5, Tennessee has not gone over that number in any SEC game other than the game against Mississippi State. Like, the offense just doesn't have it. The question is how good is the Tennessee defense and how much can they shut down the Georgia offense similar to what Ole Miss did? Remember, Georgia's only touchdown last week happened because Ole Miss turned the ball over inside their own 20-yard line. All they could do was go, 12 yards to get a score. Other than that, the Georgia offense couldn't move at all. Tennessee defense has the capability of doing the same exact thing. I got to go under here. If I have a 48 or 48.5, I got to go under. I just don't see how either one of these offenses really move the ball with any sort of regularity here. Tough to lay this number, especially, when it comes to Tennessee's defense. But, I don't trust Tennessee's offense, especially without Nico I. You could try to say his last name. I'm not going to. You're better at it than I am.
Iamaleava, yeah.
Yeah, that guy, yeah. As long as if Nico's not in this game, Tennessee may be dead in the water offensively.
If we look at this game, though, Mark, and you see that price point, is that baked in that he's not going to play? Because usually for me, it used to be back in the day with the pros, they get a concussion, they're more likely to play the following Sunday. But always like high school and college, they're usually behind the 8 ball saying, look, take this slow here. I don't think he's playing this weekend, but where does that line end up? And also, does that give you extra ammunition to maybe even take Tennessee if you're getting an extra 3 or 4 points? Or maybe if he plays, it drops down lower? How does that play out for you from handicapping from here till Saturday?
I think you saw the initial bump already. I mean, the opening line was 9.5. It kind of sat at. Then once we got the news about Nico being in concussion protocol, that was the first big buy that pushed it 10.5. I'd be surprised if you get another buy I would tell you, I think if we get news definitively on Friday that he's playing, you'll see immediately buy back on Tennessee at 10.5, right? We're sort of in college, at least, key numbers aren't the same as they are in the NFL, but 10.5 obviously matters. So I look at it from that standpoint. You'll get a buyback if you really believe that he's going to play. You got some sort of inside information that he's going to play. Take the 10.5 and hope that they can keep it close. But still, I have a hard time believing that this thing gets to 48 or 50. Like, that just seems like a really high number given these two defenses.